Did you know the way you sleep at night could be silently damaging your heart as you age? Many people never suspect that their bedtime habits might be putting pressure on the very organ that keeps them alive. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes wake up tired, foggy, or feeling like your heart is working harder than it should? The answer may not be in what you do during the day, but in what happens while you're asleep. And what if I told you that small adjustments to your sleeping habits could protect your heart, improve your rest, and even boost your energy as you get older? The truth is, your nights may hold more influence over your health than your days. Most people don't realize that certain nighttime routines can quietly wear down the heart's ability to rest, repair, and function properly. In this video, we're going to look at 6 common sleeping habits that may appear harmless, but could actually be increasing your risk of heart trouble in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. From posture to timing to room temperature, each of these habits can influence your blood pressure, breathing, and heart rhythm, all while you sleep, often without you even knowing it. Stay tuned until the end, because we're not just pointing out the problems. We'll also explain why these habits matter, what's really happening inside your body when they occur, and what simple changes you can make to protect your heart at night. If you've been waking up groggy, feeling drained during the day, or wondering why your heart feels overworked, this video is especially for you. Sometimes the key to better health isn't about what you do when you're awake. It's about what happens while you're asleep. Let's get started with number 1, sleeping on your back with your head too elevated. Many people find this position comfortable, and in some ways it can benefit spinal alignment. But when your head is raised too high, especially with multiple pillows or a thick wedge, it can quietly strain your cardiovascular system in ways that grow more serious over time. When your head is propped at a steep angle, the position slightly compresses your neck and upper chest, restricting airflow through your windpipe and putting added stress on your heart as it works through the night. When your head is propped too high, it makes it harder for oxygen to flow freely while you sleep. And when your body senses less oxygen, the heart has no choice but to work harder to make up for it. That extra strain often leads to an elevated nighttime heart rate and higher blood pressure. 2 issues that can be especially dangerous if you're already living with heart disease, circulation problems, or other chronic conditions. What makes this habit tricky is that it often goes unnoticed. At first, it can feel comfortable, even soothing. Many people raise their heads to ease acid reflux, help with sinus congestion, or simply out of long-standing habit. In the short term, it may provide some digestive relief, but over time this position puts the body in an unnatural state for breathing. And when your breathing isn't effortless, your heart never truly gets the deep rest it needs. Circulation is another concern. When your head and neck are angled forward, even slightly, it can alter blood flow between your brain and your heart. For younger, healthier people with flexible arteries, this may not matter much, but as we age and blood vessels stiffen, even minor changes in posture can create bigger consequences. Take Harold, age 74, as an example. For years, he stacked 2 or 3 pillows each night to ease shoulder tension, but gradually he began waking up with a racing heartbeat and a dry mouth. His doctor recommended switching to a single, flatter pillow with proper neck support. Within weeks, Harold's nighttime heart rate stabilized, his breathing improved, and his sleep felt far more restorative. What seemed like a minor adjustment turned into a major improvement for his heart health. Your body wants to rest at night, not fight for every breath, and especially after 60, your heart depends on those sleeping hours to slow down, recover, and repair, not to push harder. If you prefer sleeping on your back, pay attention to your pillow height. Often, just one supportive pillow is enough, one that keeps your head aligned with your spine and allows air to move freely through your windpipe. If you notice that you snore heavily, wake up with a dry mouth, or still feel tired in the morning, try keeping track of your sleeping position. It may not seem like much, but correcting the angle of your head can ease the burden on your heart and improve the quality of your nightly recovery. Sometimes, the smallest adjustments make the biggest difference, especially when it comes to protecting your heart as you sleep. Number 2, going to bed at inconsistent times. Going to bed right after eating a heavy dinner is a habit that quietly places stress on the heart, even if it feels harmless. For many older adults, dinner is the main meal of the day, the time to slow down, sit with family, and enjoy a full plate of food. But if you lie down too soon after that big meal, your body is forced to digest in a position it isn't designed for. Without gravity's help, your stomach struggles to empty smoothly, which means your digestive system has to work harder while your body is supposed to be resting. That extra effort doesn't stop with digestion. It extends to the heart. Blood is redirected toward the stomach and intestines, keeping your body in a more active and alert state at the exact time it should be winding down for sleep. On top of that, digestion itself naturally elevates heart rate. After a large dinner, the sympathetic nervous system activates, the part of the body that gears up your organs, including the heart. So instead of settling into a slow, restful rhythm, your heart stays slightly elevated for hours. You may not always feel it, but your body certainly does. Acid reflux is another concern. When you lie down too soon after a heavy or fatty meal, stomach acid can more easily flow upward into the esophagus. This can cause irritation, coughing, and even interrupted breathing during the night. While that may seem like a minor annoyance, anything that disturbs your breathing or lowers oxygen levels forces the heart to work harder than it should at a time when it needs recovery most. Consider George, age 78. Every night he enjoyed a large plate of pasta around 8 p.m. And shortly afterward, he went straight to bed. Over time, he began waking up with a pounding heartbeat, sweating, and feeling disoriented. At first, he thought it was due to nightmares, but after wearing a heart monitor and undergoing a sleep study, his doctor linked the problem to late-night digestion and mild reflux. These episodes were triggering sympathetic responses while he slept, keeping his heart unnecessarily stressed. Simply shifting dinner 2 hours earlier and taking short walks afterward brought his heart rate back to normal at night and dramatically improved his rest. It may not sound like a big change, but timing matters. Ideally, try to give your body at least 2 to 3 hours between your last substantial meal and bedtime. That window allows digestion to progress more naturally, reduces strain on your cardiovascular system, and gives your heart the chance to rest the way it should while you sleep. Sometimes, something as simple as adjusting when you eat can make all the difference in protecting your heart health. Allowing at least 2 to 3 hours between your last meal and bedtime gives your body the time it needs to begin digestion while you're still upright. That way, by the time you lie down, your system can ease into true rest instead of being weighed down by unfinished work. And if you find that your appetite is strongest in the evening, try going lighter with dinner. Simple meals, like soups, steamed vegetables, or lean proteins, are much easier to process. By contrast, heavy, greasy, or salty foods late in the day take longer to digest and can keep your heart rate elevated at exactly the time it should be winding down. Remember, your body does its best repair work during sleep, but it can't efficiently digest a heavy meal and restore itself at the same time. By giving your heart a calm, restful night without the burden of late digestion, you increase your chances of waking up healthier, calmer, and with far less strain on the organ that keeps you going. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating reliable content to both inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward with number 3, waking frequently due to untreated sleep apnea. This is one of the most damaging things that can happen to your heart during the night, and the surprising part is that many people don't even know they have it. If you're over 60 and often wake up gasping, snorting, or feeling short of breath, sleep apnea could be the reason, even if you don't realize it. Sleep apnea occurs when your airway becomes partially or fully blocked while you sleep. When that happens, your body stops breathing for a few seconds. Almost immediately, your brain signals you to wake up, sometimes so briefly that you don't even remember it, just to get you breathing again. Then you drift back to sleep, only for the cycle to repeat itself. This can happen dozens, or in severe cases, even hundreds of times in a single night. You may not be aware of it, but your heart notices every single episode. Each pause in breathing lowers oxygen levels in your blood. In response, your body flips into stress mode, raising blood pressure and forcing your heart to work harder. Over time, that repetitive strain takes a serious toll. It can contribute to arrhythmias, high blood pressure, thickened heart walls, and even a higher risk of heart failure. What seems like just snoring to some is actually a hidden source of constant stress for the cardiovascular system. Untreated sleep apnea doesn't just leave you tired, it raises your risk of stroke, heart failure, and other serious complications. What makes it especially dangerous is how easily it's dismissed. Many people assume poor sleep is simply part of aging. They blame it on stress, or convince themselves they're just light sleepers. But if you're snoring loudly, waking up gasping for air, or feeling drained and foggy during the day, even after a full night in bed, those are warning signs you cannot afford to ignore. Take Linda, age 76. For years, she believed her constant fatigue was just another part of growing older. But her daughter noticed something troubling. Linda would nod off in the middle of conversations and snored heavily through the night. A simple sleep study revealed the truth: moderate sleep apnea. Once she started treatment with a CPAP machine, a small device that keeps the airway open while sleeping, everything changed. Her daytime energy came back, and within weeks, her blood pressure dropped nearly 20 points. That one adjustment gave her body the relief it had been missing for years. What many don't realize is that sleep apnea isn't always dramatic. It doesn't always involve loud gasps or sudden awakenings. Sometimes it looks like tossing and turning more than usual, waking several times to use the bathroom, or simply rising in the morning, still feeling unrefreshed. Behind the scenes, though, the heart is working overtime through every oxygen drop and restart, straining night after night. And it doesn't take long for this hidden stress to build up. Your heart relies on deep, consistent rest to repair itself from the heavy work it does during the day. But when sleep is constantly interrupted, even if you don't fully remember waking, your heart never gets the downtime it desperately needs. The good news is that sleep apnea is treatable, and in many cases, it can be identified early with a simple overnight test, often done in the comfort of your own home. If you find yourself waking often, especially with a dry mouth, morning headaches, or a racing heartbeat, don't shrug it off. Talk to your doctor. Proper treatment won't just help you sleep better, it can protect your heart and add years to your life. Sleep should be the time when your heart finally gets to rest. But untreated apnea turns the night into an endurance test, forcing your body to fight for balance again and again. The longer it goes unnoticed, the harder your heart has to struggle. You don't have to live like that. You deserve restful nights filled with peace, steady oxygen, and true repair. Number 4. Using alcohol to fall asleep. Many people over 60 turn to a nightcap, thinking it helps them drift off more easily. Many people over 60 enjoy a glass of wine or a nightcap before bed. It feels relaxing, even comforting, and for some, it seems to help them drift off faster. But what most don't realize is that alcohol, especially in the evening, can quietly disrupt the heart's ability to rest, placing long-term strain on the cardiovascular system. Here's why. While alcohol may make you feel pleasantly drowsy at first, it interferes with the deeper stages of your sleep cycle. As your body works to metabolize the alcohol, the second half of your sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, and far less restorative. This is the exact window when your heart should be slowing down and recovering, yet instead it ends up working harder. Alcohol also raises your heart rate throughout the night. It suppresses both deep sleep and REM cycles, the very stages where your heart rate naturally drops and your body enters recovery mode. Without those stages, your blood pressure stays elevated, your nervous system remains on alert, and your heart never gets the full opportunity to power down and recharge. I remember speaking with Calvin, age 72, who began experiencing nighttime palpitations. To him, having a drink or two before bed seemed harmless, even helpful. But when his doctor ran an overnight heart monitor, the results told a different story. His pulse would spike between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., precisely when his body should have been in its deepest rest. After cutting back on alcohol, not only did his palpitations disappear, but he also said he felt clearer, calmer, and less anxious during the day. It's important to understand that alcohol doesn't just affect your heartbeat. It also disrupts body temperature, interferes with hydration, and can aggravate breathing issues. In fact, it can worsen episodes of sleep apnea, contribute to night sweats, and throw off your circadian rhythm, all of which put additional strain on your heart at the exact time it needs restoration. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a drink, but using alcohol as a regular sleep aid is where the danger lies. It may help you fall asleep quickly, but it robs your body of the deep, healing rest your heart depends on. If you struggle with falling asleep, there are healthier alternatives, ones that don't sabotage your cardiovascular system. Try a warm shower, some gentle stretching, breathing exercises, or a consistent bedtime routine. These habits not only help you drift off, they help you stay asleep, giving your heart the uninterrupted rest it truly needs. Because the real goal isn't simply falling asleep, it's reaching and sustaining that deep, healing sleep long enough for your body to repair itself. And when alcohol gets in the way of that process, your heart ends up paying the price, even if you don't notice it right away. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you're still watching, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move on to number 5, sleeping in a very warm room. There's something undeniably comforting about a cozy, heated bedroom, especially on chilly nights. But as we age, a room that's too warm can quietly increase the strain on the heart. What feels soothing to the body at first may actually interfere with your body's natural rhythms and place stress on your cardiovascular system throughout the night. Here's why. During healthy sleep, your core body temperature naturally drops. This cooling process signals to the brain that it's time to rest. It slows your metabolism, relaxes your muscles, and lowers your heart rate. But when your room is overly warm, whether from heaters, too many blankets, or tightly closed windows, that natural cooling process gets interrupted. Instead of slipping easily into deep rest, your body must work harder to release heat, which keeps your heart slightly more active than it should be. And this is where the problem becomes serious. That small but constant effort to regulate body temperature raises both heart rate and blood pressure through the night. Even if you don't wake up sweating, your sleep will be lighter, less restorative, and far harder on your heart. Over time, those nightly disruptions reduce the quality of recovery your cardiovascular system so urgently needs. Hydration adds another challenge. Warm bedrooms, especially in winter when heaters dry out the air, can leave your nasal passages and throat parched. This often leads to mouth breathing, nighttime dehydration, and reduced oxygen flow. For older adults, even mild dehydration can thicken the blood and make circulation less efficient, quietly forcing the heart to work harder with every beat. Consider Susan, age 81. She kept her bedroom at a steady 75 degrees, wore heavy pajamas, and bundled herself under layers of blankets. She thought she was keeping herself comfortable. But more often than not, she woke up groggy with dull headaches and a slight heaviness in her chest. Her doctor suggested something simple: lower the thermostat to 65 degrees and switch to a lighter blanket. Within just a week, Susan noticed a dramatic change. Her sleep became deeper, her mornings felt brighter, and she said she woke up feeling 5 years younger. The truth is, the ideal sleeping temperature for most adults falls between 60 and 67 degrees. That cooler environment helps your body transition into rest more easily and stay in deeper, more restorative sleep cycles for longer. For your heart, that means less overnight strain and more true recovery. So, if you've been keeping your bedroom warmer to stay cozy, consider gradually lowering the temperature. Even a small adjustment can make a big difference. Crack a window to allow airflow, or use lightweight layers that you can remove instead of piling on heavy blankets. Your heart, your breathing, and even your brain will all benefit from that subtle drop in nighttime temperature. Because when your bedroom environment works with your body, not against it, your heart finally gets the break it's been waiting for all day. Number 6. Maintaining irregular sleep-wake times. As we get older, our bodies thrive on rhythm, and one of the most critical rhythms we have is the sleep-wake cycle. If you're going to bed at different times each night, waking at inconsistent hours, or constantly shifting your sleep schedule, you may be doing hidden damage to your heart. Even if the total hours of sleep seem sufficient, the timing matters more than you might think. Your body operates on a 24-hour internal clock called the circadian rhythm. This rhythm governs everything from hormone production and blood pressure to body temperature and heart rate. When your sleep patterns are consistent, your body knows what to expect. It begins preparing for rest and for waking in smooth, predictable waves. But when you frequently change your bedtime or wake-up time, those natural waves become choppy and irregular. Your body gets confused, and that confusion doesn't just leave you feeling tired. It creates stress at a cellular level. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline rise at the wrong times. Your heart rate stays elevated when it should be slowing down, and your blood pressure starts to fluctuate in unhealthy patterns. Over time, this internal chaos puts more strain on your cardiovascular system than you may realize. It's not only about how many hours you sleep, it's about when you sleep. People who go to bed late on some nights and early on others, or who sleep in one day and wake up early the next, are far more likely to develop heart rhythm disturbances, blood pressure issues, and even greater risks of long-term heart disease. Heart disease, high blood pressure, and metabolic issues can develop even if your total sleep hours seem normal. Let me share an example. Walter, age 80, was retired and enjoying the freedom of setting his own schedule. Some nights he stayed up late watching baseball. Other nights he turned in early. Sometimes he slept until 10 a.m. Other times he was wide awake by 6 o'clock. But despite all those hours in bed, he never felt fully rested. To make matters worse, his heart palpitations were becoming more frequent. His doctor suggested a simple change. Commit to a consistent bedtime and wake-up time within the same 1-hour window each day. In less than 2 weeks, Walter's energy levels improved, his palpitations eased, and his heart monitor showed healthier nighttime patterns. The truth is, your heart depends on predictability. It needs to know when the day begins and when it ends. When you provide that steady rhythm, your body rewards you with deeper sleep, steadier energy during the day, and stronger cardiovascular resilience. Even a 30-minute difference in bedtime can affect your internal clock. So if you've been treating sleep like something to squeeze in whenever convenient, it may be time to start protecting it as one of your most valuable assets. Create a gentle bedtime routine. Wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Your body, and especially your heart, will adjust to that rhythm faster than you think. Because when sleep becomes a steady part of your lifestyle, not just an afterthought in your schedule, your heart finally gets the reliable rest it has been asking for. And that kind of regular, restorative rest is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself at any age. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move into some final thoughts. We've covered 6 common sleep habits, and it's worth asking yourself, how many of them have slipped into your routine without you even realizing? Maybe 1 or 2 stood out immediately. Maybe you even caught yourself thinking, I've been doing that for years. Here's the encouraging news. These habits are reversible. Even small adjustments in the way you sleep can have a powerful effect on how your heart feels and functions, especially as you age. This isn't about striving for perfection. It's about being aware. Because sleep is not just downtime. It's the time when your heart heals, your brain resets, and your entire system recharges for the day ahead. But when that process is interrupted night after night by poor posture, heavy dinners, alcohol, excess heat, inconsistent schedules, or hidden breathing problems, your heart is the one that pays the price over time. What matters most is realizing that better sleep is not out of reach. You don't need expensive gadgets, total silence, or complicated new routines. What you need is awareness. Pay attention to the signals your body is giving you. Notice when you feel genuinely tired. Notice if you wake up more often than usual. Notice how your heart feels in the morning. These simple observations can guide you towards small adjustments that support not just deeper sleep, but stronger health overall. If there's one lesson to take from this video, let it be this: your heart never stops working. It works tirelessly during the day, and it continues working through the night. By creating a sleep environment and a schedule that encourage true rest, you give your heart the chance to recover, to grow stronger, and to keep beating steadily for years to come. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your thoughts are meaningful, and reading your comments gives us both motivation and encouragement to keep creating helpful content. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to continue producing content that informs, inspires, and empowers you on your journey to healthier living. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace. And remember to subscribe to my channel so you never miss what's coming next. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.